Hey guys, DarkMata from Bedlam Brothers here, and welcome to the Arkillo episode of School of Legends. Today I'm going to be looking at Arkillo. He can be purchased for 85 marks of legend from the Legends vendor. Arkillo's movement mode is flight. This is a basic movement mode, with the only thing to mention is that he can click in and out of supersonic flight. Arkillo's health is 6,552. This is roughly 5% lower than the base level of HP. As with all characters, blocking counters your opponent's lunge attacks. Throughout the series you'll see each character's lunges, so take note and learn when to block. Arkillo's combat style is brawling. His lunge moves you closer to the target and counters any range attacks. As always, you should take a moment to look at Arkillo's combat list and get familiar with it to become more effective at hand-to-hand combat. As Arkillo uses the brawling style, there's two combos I'd like to mention. The first is called Back Fist. This is a 3-hit combo which can execute a lunge on the second and third strike and deals fairly decent damage. The next combo is called Haymaker. This is a 5-hit combo which can lunge on the 4th and 5th hit for massive damage. These combos can be clipped at any point, cutting the animation short, allowing you to get started on your next attack. It's important to note that these combos can be blocked. With brawling, tapping range attack will block break a blocking opponent, but is still vulnerable to being lunged. You can also block break using the held range attack, which is also susceptible to being lunged. It is important to vary between melee and range attacks in order to trick your opponent and make sure you win the counter for your immunities. Moving on to Arkillo's power moves starting from left to right. Arkillo's first move is called Construct Jackhammer. This behaves like the earth power move of the same name. Arkillo punches the ground, causing a knockback and damage to any enemy nearby in a 360-degree radius. You can repeatedly tap melee after this move to continually pound the floor, doing the same effect over and over. However, every time you do this, you will use up a bit more power and will eventually run dry. Whilst the first hit is not vulnerable to anything, once you start tapping melee, it becomes vulnerable to being blocked. His second move is called Saw Throw. Arkillo hurls out a sawblade construct towards his opponent. This is a long range attack which causes a knockback and damage to your target. If multiple targets are lined up in a perfectly straight line, then the saw can chain through them, causing damage and a knockback to all targets. However, this requires such a high degree of precision that you won't often be able to pull this off in practice. His next move is Spike Clap. Arkillo summons 2 walls of spikes to close in and pierce a single target. This will cause basic damage and a stun and is effective at range. This will also apply damage to any other target in a direct straight line. The fourth move in Arkillo's loadout is Ring Beam. He shoots out a blast from his ring, which causes a knockdown and damage to all enemies in the direction he's facing. It will do multiple ticks of damage for the whole time the animation is being played out. It is however vulnerable to being lunged, and if interrupted, the damage ticks will stop. His fifth move is called Battle Roar. This move has been lifted from Bane and behaves in the same way. Arkillo shouts at his target, causing a knockback and damage over time to all enemies in the direction he is facing. It is vulnerable to being lunged. Compared to Bane, Arkillo has a much shorter one, so it delivers less damage but makes it harder to interrupt. In my opinion, for Arkillo, this move is clearly not working as intended at the moment. And his last move is called Swoop Attack. Pretty much every Kryptonian and Lantern character has this move, but I'll explain it again anyway. Arkillo flies forward, causing a knockdown and damage to any hostiles in the direction he's facing. Interesting to note, no moves are usable while controlled for Arkillo. Overall, Arkillo is a fairly solid Legends character. His health and combat style are the same as Bane's, and his fifth move, Battle Roar, is also Bane's. His spike clap and ring beam give him some good range stuns, but he's missing a heavy hit and damage over time to really complete the package. The character design feels a little bit lazy, as almost every aspect of his loadout and abilities are borrowed from other characters, so he might not be the most distinctive character to play as. That being said, he has a good variety of moves, a pretty good HP, and the brawling style to make him a fairly robust character to use. If you can master learning when to abuse his Jackhammer move, and how to get the most out of his ring beam, then you can be a dangerous opponent in Legends. So why not give Arkillo a go and leave a comment to let me know how you got on. As always, check the video description while I keep you up to date with any changes that might happen to this character in future patches. Until next time, stay legendary.